Okay, so let's go with the VPC topic again. Okay, and in this topic, we will cover VPC peering. Okay, so what is VPC peering? Let's talk about this. So, if you have two different network, like if you have two VPC in the same region, if you have two VPC in different region, if you have VPC into different account, okay, and that VPC have some virtual machines and you want to connect with each other. So at that time, this VPC peering will help you to connect with your virtual machines. No matter where is your VPC, uh, that may be in your account, that may be in your friend's account, that may be in the same region, that may be in the different region in the same account. Okay. So let's create it that this topic is very important and very useful. Okay. So for that, you'll have to create two VPC. So first, when I will start, I will create two VPC in same region. Okay. And after that, we will go with a different region. After that, we will go with a different account also. Okay. So for that, just you'll have to access VPC. So in VPC, you can manage your virtual machines network. Okay, how they will perform means like how what will be the IP address, how you can manage that, how you can manage the firewall. Everything is a part of VPC. Okay, so I'm in Singapore region, and this is VPC tab. I have already a default VPC. I told you every time don't delete this default VPC. If you will delete that, it means you will not able to create any virtual machine in your region. At that time, if you want to create the virtual machine, you'll have to create another VPC for that. Okay, so it will better to don't touch this default VPC. Okay. So, how that will work? Let's go with the paint. I am just going to draw a diagram that will help you to understand about that. Okay. So just think this is two different VPC. Okay. Just, this is VPC. Sorry. This is VPC 1. Okay. And this is VPC 2. Okay. So I have two different VPC. And in that VPC, I have multiple availability zones and subnets. Okay, they both have like that. And in VPC one, I have some virtual machines. Okay, like in this VPC, I have two virtual machines. Okay, and in this VPC, I also have some virtual machines. Okay, but in that case, that both VPC, maybe you can create the both VPC as a public VPC. Okay. And if your VPC, that both VPC is public, it means you can easily connect with your virtual machines using their public IP. Because if your VPC have internet access, your subnet and route tables have internet access, it means you can connect with your virtual machines using internet. But if due to any reason I found this VPC is public VPC, okay, and this VPC is private VPC, okay. It means this instance, these virtual machines will have internet access and you can connect with them, okay. But in this VPC, if this VPC does not have internet access, or you can say this VPC is not connected with internet gateway, at that time, this instance will not have internet access. Got it? So it will better uh, to use with another VPC. So at that time, how you can access this instance, because that both instance does not have internet access. So at that time, what will we will do? We will create a VPC peering between the both VPC. Okay, that will be VPC peering, and that VPC peering will connect both VPC, and you can use their resources. You can use their instances. Like if you have created VPC peering, hmm, at that time using this instance you can connect with this instance, because when the VPC peering will be enabled, that LAN connection will be active for both. That the both VPC will have the LAN connection, LAN a local area network, and then will be that will be connected together. Okay. So using instance one, you can connect with instance. I'm just giving the name of that instance like A, instance B, instance C, and D. So if you want to connect with instance C and D, you can use any one of your instance like A and B, because the both instance have internet access and this is connected with public VPC. Okay, and using that you can connect with C and D. Uh, okay, so let's create this on console, AWS console. So first I will create VPC1, then I will create VPC2. So both will be in the same region. Okay, that region will be Singapore. Okay, Singapore. After that, I will create two different VPC in two different region. That first region will be Singapore and the another will be Mumbai, or any other region you can select. So this first VPC peering I will create in the same AWS region, that will be Singapore. Okay, so let's create that. So first I will create VPC1, then I will create VPC2, and then I will create VPC peering, as well as I will create virtual machines for that. Okay, so let's create the VPC. Let's write VPC1. That CIDR I will use 10.0.0.0/16. Okay, then scroll down and create your VPC. Okay, so first complete this VPC, then after I will go to create VPC2. Next step is create subnets. So I told you every time when you will create a VPC, create at least two subnets, okay, in a network. So let's create that. Select your VPC, that will be VPC1, their name, subnet 1, and I'm writing their name to v1 public. Select your availability zone 1A, and then CIDR will be 10.0.0.0/24. Okay, that first CIDR will be like this and create. The first subnet is created, and let's create another subnet. I told you create at least two subnet in a different availability zone. Subnet to public. Okay, that availability zone will be 1B, sorry, 1B, and the CIDR 10.0.1.0/24. Okay, and this both subnet is public subnet, so you'll have to enable their auto assign public IP. So select that and go to action, edit subnet settings, and enable that. Okay, and save. Do the same with another subnet also. Go to action, edit subnet settings, and save that. So the VPC is created, subnet is created. Next, go to route tables. So this is your default route table. So rename it route public. Okay, and add those subnets. Go to subnet associations, edit, select that both, save associations. Next step is you'll have to make this route table public. You'll have to make this VPC public. So that's why I just go to Internet Gateways, allocate Internet Gateway, write any name, create that, and attach to your VPC. So you will find only those VPC which the VPC does not have any internet access. Select that, attach. Okay, that VPC, that Internet Gateway is attached with that VPC. The next step is go back to route tables and add that routes, edit routes, add, select 00 in the target, select Internet Gateway, and in Internet Gateway, you can find your Internet Gateway INT and save that. Now the VPC1 is ready to use. Okay, so VPC1 is created and you can use that. And at the same time, I am just going to create another VPC in the same region. So just go to create VPC, write your VPC name, VPC2, okay. And one more thing I want to add, like when you will create another VPC and you have planned to create a VPC peering At that time, you need to change the IPv4 CIDR. Don't write like 10.0.0.0. Use 10.10.0.0 because if you will use the same VPC CIDR for both of your VPC, they will overlap each other. So don't use the same VPC CIDR. So what you can use 10.10, 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, any other number you can use. Okay, but don't go more than 255. That range is 255 only. So every block have that range that is 255. Okay, so I'm using 10.10.0.0/16. You can use 10.1.0.0. You can use 10.11.0.0. You can use 10.12.0.0 like that. Okay, but don't use 10.0.0 because they will overlap with your previous VPC. Okay, when you will create a peering, just write like that and create. Okay, so this VPC is created. Next step is create your subnet for this. Okay, so we already have that two subnet. That is the part of VPC1. Let's create another one. Select your VPC. So now I will create subnet for VPC2. Write your VPC name, sorry, a subnet name. So I'm writing subnet 1 and private. Okay, select availability zone and write your CIDR. So CIDR will be 10.10.1.0. Sorry, this is the first CIDR, so you can use 10.10.0.0/24. Okay, and create. Create one more. Create at least two subnets for every VPC. Subnet 2 private. B 10.10.1.0/24. Okay, so now we have four subnet, two for public VPC and another two for private VPC. Okay, let's go with the route tables and just refresh this. We can find another route table. Let's route private. Okay, and do only subnet associations. No need to add any internet gateway. Go to subnet associations, edit that, and select that both and save. Okay. Now the both VPC is ready to use. That VPC1 have internet access and VPC2 does not have any internet access because I have not added internet gateway with VPC2. Okay, so first step is now clear. What is the next step? Next step is I will create a EC2 instance in the both VPC and we'll try to connect using I will try to connect that both instance using VPC peering. Okay, so let's go back to the EC2 tab. Okay, instances. Let's create the instance. Just go to launch, Windows Server, select your operating system. Next, keep your login, press key, and in network settings, you need to edit that. Just go to edit option, click on the VPC, and you will find that VPC which you have just created. So there is VPC1 and VPC2. So what I will do, I will first create a public virtual machine. So I will use this VPC1 and this VPC1 have internet access. Okay, select that and select any one of your subnets. Both subnet have internet access, so you can select any one of your subnet. Okay, so I'm selecting subnet 1 and that auto send public IP is already enabled, so no need to do anything. Next step, just add HTTP. Okay, RDP is by default added, so you need to add the HTTP for that if you want to host a website. So I will host a website and I will verify with my private instance. Okay, that HTTP source type will be anywhere and launch your instance. Okay, you all instances. And let's create another instance also at the same time. Let's just go to launch instances. Okay, select your key pair, go to network settings, select your VPC. So now I will select VPC2. Okay, because I am going to create private virtual machine. And the subnet, you can select any one of your subnet because both subnet is the part of your private VPC and the both does not have any internet access. Okay, so you can select any one of them and you can see auto assign public IP is disabled for this network. Okay, if you will enable that, just think you have enabled that option. So at that time, your instance will have the public IP. It does not mean that your instance will have internet access. Okay, so no need to do this. Just disable and next go and configure your security group. So RDP is already added. Just go to add security group rule, add HTTP and select anywhere and launch your instance. Okay, so my first instance is ready. Now I will connect with them. Just use the same steps. Okay, this is Windows Server. This one is public EC2 instance. And when you will check with their public IP that have a public IP enabled, and when you will select your private instance, that instance does not have any public IP. Okay, so let's connect with the Windows Server first. Go to connect, RDP client. Let's download the remote desktop file, connect, and they are asking for the password. So you can decrypt your password using your key, aws key.pem, pen, decrypt, copy, paste here. Remember, yes. So first I will try to connect with uh, another instance that is in private VPC. I will try to connect with them without having any VPC peering. Let's try to connect and let's see what the error we will get. Okay. Okay. So let's try to connect with another instance. Uh, Go to remote desktop connection and use that instance private IP. Just go back and select your private instance that is ready now. Copy their private IP, paste it, use username, okay, and try to connect. So when you will try to connect with that type of EC2 instance which have a different VPC, you will not able to connect that. Okay, you will get the connection failure message like this. Okay, let's minimize this and we will try again after creating the VPC peering. Let's go back to the VPC tab. Okay, and when you will scroll down, you will find the VPC peering. Where is that? Yes, this is the peering connection. You will find in the VPC tab. So just click on that peering connection tab. No peering connection found. So let's create that. Create peering connection and give the name for your VPC peering. Peering 1. Okay. Select your you will have to select the requester ID. So here is total three VPC in this region. First one is default, second one is VPC1, and third one is VPC2. So I will make a request using VPC1 to VPC2. Okay, so the requester will be VPC1. Just scroll down, select your account. If the another VPC in the same account, select this option. If the another second VPC in another account, your friend's account, you can select another account. Okay, and in the region, if your another VPC in the same region, you can select the first option. If your VPC is in different region, select another region option. Okay, so my VPC, another VPC in the same account in the same region. Now select your acceptor ID. So in the acceptor, I will select VPC2. So I have made a request using VPC1 and the acceptor will be VPC2. Okay, select that and you can see the status is associated and create your peering connection. Okay, now let's go back to the EC2 instance and let's try to connect again. So that will not work again. Actually, after VPC peering, you will have to reconfigure your root tables in the both VPC. Okay, we are getting the same message. Okay, same error. Now let's minimize this and now go back to your route tables. So we have two root table, root table public and root table private. So first go with the root public, go to root, okay, go to edit root, add root, and in the first public, when you will configure your public root table for your VPC peering, that IP address will be 10.10.0.0/16. You will have to use another VPC CIDR IP address. Okay, so my second VPC have this CIDR 10.10.0.0/16. Select that. Now click on target and select peering connection. This one. And in this, select your peering connection. Peering 1 is there and save. There is black hole means there is some problem. Let's check what happened. Okay. There was some problem actually. When you will create VPC peering, they will make a request. Okay, the status you can see. This is for pending for acceptance. So select your VPC peering, go to action and accept request. Okay. So first you will have to, what happened? My Chrome browser was stopped. Let's see what happened. Okay. So when you will create a VPC peering, you will have to accept that connection. So just VPC, go to VPC peering again, go to action and accept your request. Accept that. And now this is active. Now go back uh, to root tables again and let's check. Okay, so this VPC peering is now active. Okay, Now go back to the root private and do the same thing. Root, edit, add root, and what IP address you will use? You will use 10.0.0.0/16. You will have to use that first VPC's CIDR. Okay. Then go to target, peering connection. You will find the peering connection again and save that. And this is active now. Now this VPC peering is ready to use. Let's go back to the instance again and let's try to connect. Now you can see they are asking for the password. It means that connection is working. Okay. Now go back to your EC2 and select your instance and decrypt your password. TP client, get password, plus key, decrypt. Okay, copy that. Now we will verify with their web services. Okay, so this is private EC2 instance. Okay, private virtual machine. Let's install the web service on this. Just go to server manager. So I'm on private EC2 instance. Select web server IIS and go to confirmation and install that. So I am installing web services on private EC2 instance, not on public one. Okay, you can see there private IP 10.10.1.118. So this is the private IP of your private EC2 instance. Okay, and this web services you cannot access using any public internet. That will be possible only through that public instance which is connected using VPC peering. Or if you have connected using VPN with your private network, that time also you can access your private web service and private website. Most of the companies have private servers and they are giving access using only VPN. Most of the banks, telecom service provider, most of the corporates are using VPN with their private servers. Okay, installation is succeeded. Now just close this and just to minimize this one. Now I'm on public instance. Okay, and in this instance, you'll have to enable the web browser and you can access your private instance web page. Okay, I was uh, I was left the meeting. Can you please tell me how much time is left when I was left? I had no any idea. I was continuing with the class. Hmm? 4 to 5 minutes. Okay. That application was auto stopped. Okay. So now let's continue. Okay, so let's check this again. I have connected with my private instance using my public instance, and I have installed the web services on my private EC2 instance. Okay, and now I am trying to access that web service. Okay, let's minimize that. Copy their private IP. Okay, and paste here. Press enter. So using your private IP, you can access that web service. Okay, so it was about the VPC peering. Okay, and it's just like a hybrid VPC, but in the hybrid VPC we have only one VPC and two different route tables. Okay, but today I had two different VPC and we have attached the both VPC using VPC peering, and that was in the same region. In the next session, we will have two different VPC in the two different uh, region as well as in the two different account also. And we will add in this VPC peering, we will add the database server also. Okay, so that will be advanced session and that will be held on tomorrow. Okay, so let's continue with today's topic. Wait. Okay, so I'm just sharing today's video, recorded videos. Just wait for a few minutes.